Okay, I am borrowing a phone. It's Carrie. I'm at the Newcastle meeting here in Bloomington. There's a plate for you. Gosh, I only got one highway patrol. Normally I get a lot better than that. I'm so scary. I'll grab these plates when I come out because I was a little late coming in. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in here and have a seat, and we'll see what these people have to say.
So the index, called the index space was, hey, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. The index space was May 16th, 2018 in Los Angeles. And usually in this case, how it happens is it happens at a vet clinic. Someone brings a bird there. The veterinarians are usually responsible to call and report to either the state or the feds, and that's what happens. And then someone is dispatched to check it out and take samples, and that's what happened in this case. And then, shortly thereafter, you can see May 16th, May 24th, it was detected in San Bernardino. June 30th, it was detected in Riverside County. But it's important to note that while it was going along a timeline here, we don't know necessarily whether it could have been in San Bernardino first and then went to LA County, or it could have been in Riverside first, and we don't know that arrow necessarily. We do have a lot of genetic data that informs our choices and how we address this, and it's in our science-based approach. But it's not. Sometimes we can't always tell the arrow of time, the direction that it's going. So we have San Bernardino. We have Ventura, which is a fairly small aspect of it, and that Ventura was never really part of the full scope of the quarantine, which is a good thing, as there's another one that's coming up in a second. It was detected in Utah, we have the genetics on this type. We have these people in the lab that will do all the genetics, and they know that it was the same virus that came from California to Utah. There's no doubt about it. We have the genetics, hey, good evening. Hello. We have the genetics similarly in Arizona, but I'll try to stick to my timeline here. So, as of January 27, 2019, the expanded quarantine was put in place to cover LA County, San Bernardino County, Riverside County. I'm told it doesn't necessarily cover the entire county of, I think, San Bernardino, but that's geography isn't necessarily in my head. But, and that was put in place because the disease was spreading. We couldn't stop it. So we had to do something, and that was what was chosen to do. And that authority, of course, I work for the USDA. The authority falls with the state of California, but it was fully supported with the USDA. It was the best practice that was done under epidemiological principles. And so that's what was done, January 27th, 2019. And I mentioned Arizona. Even though it says April Fool's Day, I responded to one in Arizona. That's part of my territory, so I was there. It was also genetically tied to the California area, the Southern California area. And there's no doubt about it. We have the genetics of these people just sit in labs, and that's all they do, is they run the genetics all the time. And then they think about how the genetics would have changed, and it doesn't change like a flu virus might, but it still does change, and they're able to track that. And then, so we go from Arizona, which was limited to, because again, I was there, there was one backyard found, not too many birds, but they were largely dead at the time of our arrival, and then the rest of them were sick. And then, along this timeline is San Diego, and we can directly tie that to movement out of the Southern California area into a further Southern California area, I guess you could say, due to illegal movement of birds. I mean, we know it, we've tracked it down, we have a hard and fast case, and that's also why San Diego there was never any quarantine necessary, because we knew exactly where it came from, we knew exactly where it went. And so it was a limited, contained aspect, and our main job is identification and containment.
And only one case over there?
There was only one case, yeah. Now, I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was necessarily one bird, but it was from point to point. Yeah, with nothing that we could detect in between. It was, because we talked to the people that moved the birds, and we talked to the people who received the birds, so we had the full story. And so freedom from disease testing started because we stopped we stopped detecting disease at some point. I can't remember, that date isn't on the timeline here. So we started for what we call freedom from disease testing, which is fantastic because that's what we want. Believe me, we want to be free of disease in Southern California so that we don't have to go door to door and bother you find people in Bloomington. We don't have to go anywhere else and bother any other people in Southern California. So what that means is there was no active disease anywhere in the area that we knew about. No active disease. So we started doing freedom from disease testing until we got a detection here, November 15th in San Bernardino County. Which was unfortunate, but maybe should have been foreseen because the disease was, the virus was all over the place, was widely dispersed among, and there's an app coming up that has all of the counties that I mentioned before, and you can see how widespread it was, and kind of get a timeline on how it spread. And in our mind, it spread fairly rapidly. We despite our best efforts, we weren't able to get ahead of it. And the worst of it, of course, was back here when so many areas were affected. And we started the freedom from disease testing, but then it popped up again in San Bernardino County. And then it popped up in a pet store in San Bernardino County. There was what we call an epi-link between those two, the connection between either people buying stuff, people traveling, people, so on, that leads us in the direction. That's the general epidemiological principle of following the footsteps. Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
So we're in San Bernardino, we're at a pet store in San Bernardino, and then as inclusive in Bloomington. And that's, of course, as of December 9th, which is not too far in the past. And right now, there is active disease spreading in Bloomington. That's fact. It's fact. The virus is out there.
When was the last one?
Well, the last one that we can report was confirmatory was December 9th.
Of this month?
Of this month.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's active. The reason we're in this area, and I'll talk about some of, go back to the freedom from disease, is because there's active disease spreading.
So, when, my question is the last time you guys came by and you guys tested our birds.
Yeah.
And they had mentioned that we had neighbors down the road, we knew exactly where they were, that were refusing to have their animals tested. So the guys go, where? So my husband literally drove them down there. And at that time, they caught them removing birds off of their property. What happens to people who do that?
We do our best, and we have a part of our response is law enforcement, and including both from the cdfa and from the California Highway Patrol. We collaborate extensively with them, and we do our best, and we are doing sting operations, those types of things to catch people moving birds. I assure we're trying.
Because every testing we've had, we've passed, you guys haven't came back or notified us anything.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're really being diligent on one person feeds, we get one place that food.
That's great.
Because my grandfather, long ages ago, he got food. We used to have a chicken ranch. And he was pretty sick for several months.
Wow.
And so, yeah, this stuff is pretty nasty.
Oh, the disease itself is nasty, absolutely. And it's,
Have you found any other birds, varieties, than just the chickens
Just
that
chickens.
are catching it?
we have, I can't comment on the full spectrum, but we have had positive on a whole variety of different bird species.
Turkeys?
Turkeys have been included, yes. Yes.
They're exotic.
Absolutely, yes. Now, it's really, as far as the ones that get the sickest, die the quickest, and can spread it the best, because the virus just replicates inside them, and there's like virus-producing machines. It's chickens, there's no doubt about that. And one of our geneticists said, just on a call 2 days ago, is it's chickeny, which was her description of, it really loves chickens. Now, it can still spread to other bird species, like I mentioned, but it's really, it's really a core chicken disease. It can spread to others. Again, I don't want to say that it can't. Pet birds, all sorts of birds potentially. We have, again, we're doing all sorts of genetics and stuff, and and we look at the pattern of how it has spread. And sometimes we can't always tell the arrow of which way it's spread in which direction and when. But you know, the primary means we know it's spreading is people moving birds like you guys.
Have you guys gone to the 4-H clubs where they have
Yes.
their meetings and talk to them?
Yeah, I was
Because-
part of that almost a year ago, actually. With 4-H
Yeah, about a year ago,
churches.
they were moving them, they were taking them to different fairs, and I was at one, and I go, what are you guys doing? We're in quarantine. Oh, no, we're 4-H, we can do this, and I go, oh, no, you can't. So, just wanted to make sure that was being.
Yeah, we try to have outreach, and you know, but it doesn't always. It's not always received, you know, and I understand. Yeah.
I'm on a live video and I've got people wanting questions. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, you can ask questions.
Okay,
Can I finish
they're
my
asking me as I go, so I'm writing them down so that they're kind of coming as you're going with your timeline.
Yes.
Steve Lyle's here.
So,
Steve Lyle's
so again,
here.
we have
Evil
December
Steve
9th
Lyle.
day here, Bloomington,
Coward. He's
here
a
in
big
Bloomington,
coward.
where we are now. So I mentioned the freedom from disease testing, which is the goal. The goal is to get rid of the disease and be free of disease. Hence the word freedom from disease. And so how we do that is we have to go so I like the analogy of a wildfire. And you guys know better than me. I live in New Mexico, where we have had some wildfires, but nothing like you guys have had. Where if you're not going back to look, and there's still fuel there, the fire could pop up again. It could. So part of our methodology, and it's mentioned on the CDFA website, is us returning to places to test again to make sure there's no disease. We only have active disease in Bloomington right now. That's 100% accurate and true information. But we are going into other counties to make sure that the disease hasn't popped up again in those areas. We have to. Hold on. We have to return. That's part of freedom of disease testing, and that's the only thing that makes sense. You have to go back and look. If you're not going back to look, then you don't know if it's there. We have to prove that it's not there, and our scientists have all those statistics and numbers, knowing where we need to go back and how we need to go back, and to achieve that freedom of disease status. That's the goal. And as mentioned here, our goal: no new traces of D&D to eradicate the disease. I assure you. That is our goal. So I'll move on to the next one. And it's a timeline, so it should be a video here if I hit the next one. Should try to do it manually. So, get ahead of it here. So we're in June of 2018. You can see we have just like the timeline that I talked about. LA County, San Bernardino County. It's about to hit Riverside County. I believe that was the timeline. It'll have one. It'll show a little bit here. It'll show San Diego down here. We're in August of 2018. September. I mean, from our perspective, it's spreading very rapidly, which is a property of the disease that we're trying to fight. November 2018. Still going. Looks like that might be in Riverside County, but again, I'm not from California, but it's probably pretty close to where it is. Hold on. So, it seemed quicker when I was watching it around. But you can get the idea. It's somewhat localized to some geographies, but not really. It's popped up in a lot of different places here. We're in August of 2019 now. Probably the one that's going to pop up here in San Diego. There's the one in San Diego. September 2019. There was a period where we had no active disease. That was where we started the freedom from disease testing. We were real optimistic track. And we're up to December 2019, which is the one I mentioned. December 9th is the date, I believe.
And now I think it's important also to point out too that we've got premises that had birds went off, and now they've repopulated the birds, and now those birds are positive again. So we need to remember that too in some of these same areas. That if now we have the disease returning in the same premises.
Yes, we do. So, this is what we call a heat map. So you can see this is July to August 3rd. And the areas that were the most active for infection. And right now, don't let the blue areas fool you, that might just be surveillance. This is November to December. This should be the Bloomington area. Right there. Where we're at now and why we're here. So, how can you protect your birds? Again, it's critical. No birds in or out of the property. It's critical. I mentioned a couple examples where it was the genetics doesn't lie to us. It was definitely the virus that was transferred to Utah, and it was transferred to Arizona, and it was transferred to San Diego. And there's no doubt in our minds that was the scientific understanding of what happened. Disinfect everything. We talked about biosecurity at the beginning. Keeping an eye on your clothes and all the products and anything that comes in contact with birds. Don't borrow tools or utensils because you don't know what they have been around, what kind of animals they've been around. That goes for horses and cattle and goats, and it's a general principle that you should be thinking about of how, whether you're transmitting disease, even with people. And they do this stuff in hospitals too, of course. So it's just a good mindset to have that you could be taking these things with you constantly, especially in the time of an outbreak like this. Avoid visitors. So if you go to someone else's house and you see that there's sick birds, and then you go right back to your house and you feed your birds or clean up the litter or whatever, then it's a risk. It's a risk. It really is. Isolate birds returning for 30 days. That's more of a principle outside of this quarantine time. It's always good to, actually the word quarantine, 40, it used to be 40 days. Yeah, that's where it was derived from, 40 quarantine. And then if you have a dead bird, if you see a dead bird, you have a number to call, come out and test it. We need to know where this disease is. Because we already know one location right where we are right now. But we have to look in other areas too, otherwise we're not truly assessing where the virus is. We have to find it if it's still out there. What can you do to help? Please spread the word. Talk to friends, families, neighbors, colleagues. I'll be up here to respond to questions like you have. But I assure you, it's a science-based approach. Our epidemiologists are charting the course for the best way to proceed. That's the way it should be, and that's the way it is. I can promise you that. Oops. Share the information on social media if you can. Again, reports any sick or unusual birds. Did I repeat that? So message to take home. Currently detected in multiple cases in this area. Like I said a few times now. You need film?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
I still do. No. I thank you, and I'm doing what you guys told me. So
yeah, very good.
try to help and you guys to prevent this disease.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate
Muchas
that.
gracias y buenos noches.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Buenas noches. We're actively working to eliminate the virus, but we do need your help. We reiterate biosecurity disinfection. Movement of birds is illegal. Please don't move birds. Please don't move birds. It's one of the biggest risks that we have identified and that we're truly sure of. We are sure of.
Get your birds to safety.
Merci, gracias.
Get your birds to safety.
And unless Andy has something to say first, I suppose both of us could respond to questions, however we want to do it.
Yeah, I have a few.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't even catch your name. I was a few minutes late. I had some traffic. What was your name?
Sean McCarthy. Yeah.
Oh, Sean. Okay,
From the
perfect.
USDA that are in.
Perfect. I was actually told to ask for you this evening from the media. Yes, I'm supposed to get my test results. That's why I'm here.
I don't have test results, I'm sorry.
But
No.
you told the media representative that I
On
could
the website,
get them.
the USDA APHIS website, it lists.
No, I wanted my results from my birds. I mean, I paid and had my own birds tested, but according to the warrant, you folks did test. So when the media came to you and she mentioned your name, and she said ask for you, and that you mentioned that I could
never
get a
mentioned
copy.
test results, I'm sorry. We did talk about test results briefly, and some of it, again, what I told her is everything was already on the cdfa or USDA.
No, I'm sorry, I haven't gotten any test results of anything, and my
Well,
birds.
it's not- it wouldn't be specific to your location.
May I ask why though? I mean, because they're my birds, my pets.
Yeah.
So I would have a right to know the health of my pets. Now I did test those with UC Davis and Calf's Lab. Okay, my
We
birds.
send our samples.
I know, and I wanted to see your test results to match them up with mine. But she said ask for you. So
Okay. Well, I remember talking about
okay.
it yesterday. I don't have your results, I can promise you that.
okay. Well, that's I kind of figured. I mean,
it's just not feasible for us to release results for everybody. Because there's just multiple problems.
But I mean,
I
no.
didn't talk about the virus. And
No, but I mean, I've got a lot of questions, and I saw you mentioning about sharing on social media, so I'm sharing and I'm helping you. So when people are asking me, and myself included, that when we have had our birds tested by you folks, we would like to see our own personal results. Like, I don't need his, he doesn't need mine. I just want my own. That's reasonable.
I can understand.
Okay.
There may be a point in the future where that happens. It's
Okay.
not right
Well,
now.
maybe you can grab my name after and look into it. Maybe help me out with that. Okay, I have a gentleman here, Carlos. He would like to know, how are birds testing negative if they are already going to be sick and die in 2 to 3 days? Why are you testing them if you claim that they're already sick and they will be dead within 2 to 3 days? He would like to know why you are bothering to test if you've already confirmed they're sick.
Well, we test to make sure that we're on the right track for identification purposes. I mean, the question is a little confusing.
I'm reading it right off of here. That's okay. Next one, Tatiana here. She wants to. Where are the carcasses going now? Because we've had about 6 kills over here in Bloomington. Where are the carcasses going?
Generally, the carcasses are taken to an approved location that we have set up.
Oh, okay. Do we know where that is?
We know where that is. Yes.
Okay, is it at the? Well, I mean, we're the public, and the vehicles are not marked with any Department of Transportation logos. I do have video footage of fluid leaking out of a vehicle, and I'm really concerned of what was that fluid driving down the freeway. I've got at the dumps, the Temescal one and the Musquay. I've got the footage of the birds being torn open in bags.
I can't comment on any of that.
Okay, so you don't know where the bodies are going. So when
I
a kill,
know.
oh, you know where they are.
Well, yeah, our response is part of our response is.
Okay, so you don't want to tell the public where the bodies go. I guess would be a fair statement.
That information might be released in the future. I can assure you.
Okay.
Just like our methodology.
Okay.
I don't know if it will or will not.
Okay, but at this point, for the question of this young lady, she wants to know where they're being dumped. At this point, you refuse to comment on
I
that.
apologize. Yeah.
Okay,
I
no worries.
apologize.
Okay, she also would like to know, are you killing parrots or hookbill type exotic birds? And I don't own exotics, so you'll have to, this is on behalf of someone else.
Part of my place in response, I'm the current incident commander, and I'm trained to manage this response on a wide level or on a small level. I haven't been here the full time. To my knowledge, we haven't euthanized parrots, but you should not trust that because I don't know.
Okay, so we're unsure with the parrot question. Next up, on payment, people aren't getting paid. What's the timeline of when folks are supposed to be paid, and the pricing of these animals?
The pricing of these animals is a level that's set that is also something that I'm not terribly familiar with.
Okay.
Why are people not getting paid? I can't answer that question either. We'd have to have specifics, or they'd have to contact.
But before they killed in the past 2003 go around of this, you guys would negotiate the payment with the owner prior to the kill. So that is not being done right now. So people are concerned of, what are we getting paid? This is our property. And people aren't getting their checks. They're not getting anything. So that's, they're not real happy with that.
People are being paid indemnity.
Oh, they are? Okay. I mean, I wasn't personally, but I don't know. I've heard that people aren't. So, Nonetheless, that's that. Okay, why, let's see, why are you treating different states when you mentioned the few outbreaks in different states, okay? Why were they isolated to one quick kill, you guys moved on, and here we're jumping area to area to area?
Answer that question.
Cool, okay.
The disease decides. The disease tells us what it needs to do. So when in Arizona, because I was there,
Okay.
it didn't spread. It was one residence.
Did you kill within the 1 kilometer of that
I
one?
can't comment on that. I'm sorry. But,
Oh.
but it was a different animal. The disease was different there.
A different strain.
No, it was the exact same strain.
Sean, maybe we can move on and I know you've got a lot of questions, but a lot of people have questions.
Sure.
So
I'll get back. I'll stop right here.
You want to listen to?
Well, at least is there anybody else that has questions? Yeah.
Okay, my birds, and I'm sorry if I'm emotional, but my birds were tested on Monday. I've never moved them off the property in 20 years. They're caged. I have less than 20 birds. I have 5 peacocks, 2 geese that I've had for 20 years, and I'm being told today, you're coming in and killing everybody. How do you think that makes us feel? I'm following the rules. My birds are healthy, and now you're killing them? These are pets. These are my pets. These are my family. And it's like, oh, so now I get to sit here tomorrow and watch 5 healthy peacocks go to the gas chamber? How fair is that to me?
I see you're
Merry
upset.
Christmas.
I do. And I understand that you're upset.
But why aren't you waiting to see if my birds are even positive? Because they've never been positive. So I'm being punished for people who aren't following the rules because some stupid jerk illegal feed store, let's throw it out there because I don't know if they're even legal, who was selling hay out of your backyard for the last 10 years and put my legal feed store out of business because they're selling sick birds everywhere. So now I'm being punished.
I totally understand what you're saying. It's very complex problem.
Okay.
And I can sympathize.
I got a big question.
Yeah.
I'm here, and my biggest question is, now that we have this newest outbreak, and I hear this lady behind me say, are you here to say that all of the Bloomington community birds are going to be euthanized?
That's not what I'm saying, no. I mean, we have areas within the neighborhood that we know have active infection, and we're
Okay.
addressing it in specific areas.
I can understand, because the last time you guys came by, we did have it on our street. So when we had got the rampage where we had heard it came through on our street, we knew automatically that our birds were going we were gonna lose them, okay? I understand, okay, because of my grandfather catching this food. And it's dangerous, guys. And I know, my pets, my birds are my pets too. I've had birds on my property for almost 80-some years. Never without a bird, only when you guys had to come and do it, okay? So, my question is, the birds that have now tested, were they above the 10 freeway or below the 10 freeway?
I can't comment on a specific
Okay.
geographic location.
So
I'm
we
sorry.
won't know until one of the ladies here let me know through, because social media, and I believe I've heard.
I'm Carrie.
Or seen she pushes big time. Don't move, don't move, don't move, and we have idiots out there who move their birds. So I'll find out, but it really would be nice to know ahead of time, because the last time you guys came, and I have instructed the guys who come, if you need to come back, kids are out of school right now. These are pets to these kids. If it comes to the point where you have to go to these people's homes or to mine, let us have time enough to remove our children off. Because my daughter was so traumatized. For a long time, we couldn't even get birds back because she had nightmares. Some of these kids work with, and we've got recently a nice group of 4-H kids that have chickens. And it's not their fault that these children pets are sick. So if you guys could take that in consideration.
I will pass your concern on.
Even for us, we need time to grieve. I had to leave work today. I work in a hospital, so we understand about disease. I had to leave today because I couldn't sit there and what did I do? I sat there, I gave them swimming pools, I watched them have their last bath, and I'm just sitting here, bye guys, this is it. I mean, I have had some of these birds 20 years, I am not joking. They're 15 to 20 years old. I haven't had a new bird in 11 years. I'm down to like, not 10, 11 birds, whatever the total is. And it's like, these are family members. My Canadian geese, I always wanted beautiful peacocks as a singer. Now I'm gonna have to watch them. Tomorrow will be gas because I'm gonna be there for them. And I don't care if people think it's stupid because it's a bird. But I'm gonna be there because they know me. They don't know these people coming in. And it's like, I haven't even had a chance to find. I mean, I've done everything I'm always supposed to do. And these birds are like family. It's not something I've just acquired. My Canadian geese I've always wanted. How am I gonna replace any of these? I'm not, because when am I going to replace them in 2 years from now? We're going to be coming in, we got it again, we're going to gas and kill all your birds again. How am I going to afford to go out and replace my peacocks? And these are hand-raised peacocks that we had for 11 years. It's absolutely devastating for me.
There's no place that you guys, you know, if these birds they test, you know, as negative, like what she has here, and they've been tested and
They've
there's
tested
no
numerous
place
times.
that the birds can be picked up and taken live and held at a safe location, checked over, tested. There's nothing that.
All I can say is the approach we're using is a well-established approach, and I understand what you're saying. It seems like there should be alternatives, but this is the science-based approach, the best approach we have to get rid of disease as quickly and effectively as possible.
So how is
That's in my mind limits the suffering overall. Even though you guys are suffering, it limits the suffering on the Southern
Or the
California
ones that
scale
do the
for
right.
other birds to act swiftly, because the virus moves swiftly. The virus controls the situation, similar to what was the question on Utah, Arizona, and San Diego. The virus decides how we respond, and again, we have a group of people who all they do is think about this stuff, and they try to predict what's going to happen, and they do the best they can, and
But you
it's
guys
still
do go
devastating.
after the people that you do catch that are transferring birds pretty
We
good.
we take a risk-based approach, and you know, so risk is based on the chances of them contracting disease. I mean, most of this information is available. Sometimes it has a lot of technical jargon, but our approach is the best possible for the greater good of all the birds in this area. And you guys are devastated. I can understand that. Understand that. Yes, sir.
I have a question. When was the last time there was very bad disease like this one? 2002, 2003?
That's right. Yes.
And how long take it that time to finish the
It was
disease?
less time. I don't know.
Years and years.
It was 2, and he says it was 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what
And
is
we're not
time-
at 2 years or yet. I hope we don't get there.
But why this time take it too long to finish? I hear because some
Because-
people more birds. You
Yeah.
know. Okay, but my question is, last time I remember, I have it last time, I don't have it right now, but last time I have it, and they finish early because they paid the right amount for the birds. Some people ordered simple trios from Alabama, they cost $1,000, and you guys come in and pay right now $13. The people try to save the money because I spend too much money. If I move it's because I don't think my birds is sick, and sometimes we move when it's sick, because they want to save my $1,000 spend, and you guys come in and kill it, if it's sick or it's not sick, and only pay $13 or $12. And that is the last time when you guys pay the right amount for the birds, the spread finish early because nobody moving nothing. But right now I know a lot of people try to move it, they try to save the money.
Everybody's moving.
Yeah.
Everybody's moving.
And I think so that's the difference between last time and this time,
Yeah.
Because last time the department, they pay good money or something fair.
Yeah.
But this time it's they pay like it's not a food chicken sometimes,
I
It's
understand that
exotic birds,
frustration. And it doesn't. People aren't as motivated to, or maybe they're more motivated to move their birds. Maybe that's a factor
Yeah.
too.
And
We hope that's not the case again.
because almost 2 years, going to be in May.
It'll be 2 years in May. That's right. It was May of 2018.
Yeah. And it looks like not going to finish this one early because
Well,
some
we
people moving birds, I know.
hope it goes back to that freedom of disease testing. The sooner we can get containment and get disease in this area, hopefully not detect disease in other areas, we can start that testing that will clear it, and that will clear the quarantine as well. Yes, sir.
Okay, when you guys came to my property, I got my chicken with bees, guineas, turkeys, everything, right?
Yeah.
And you guys went to my neighbor's house, and then when you went to my neighbor's house, you guys, well, they heard a rooster cow, right? So we heard two rooster, I got, split the cooking. So they like, well, you guys tell me. I always use bird con.
Yeah.
That's what I said to you guys using.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
I told her, look, I spent $140 for some cows, I was for babies, for everything in the property.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, I mean, I know I'm gonna sick, because I know I
Yeah.
know about the Newcastle.
Right.
And environmental stuff.
I understand that our approach is sometimes hard to understand, but we have the data that shows if the disease is in the area, depending on how far away from it you are, this is the best approach to take based on the data that we have.
Yeah. And then, well, there wasn't a record, I mean, like 7 weeks ago, I got one of the staff in the airport, and they found me, quarantine is done, now we just need 40 days more. You put it in your later, and then we can do stuff. Yeah, so we don't know what to do.
I mean, you have the right ideas in mind. With you mentioned the Burcon and spraying your things.
And I still have a running product there, you know.
I understand. And I sympathize with your situation.
Now that, I mean, you guys, there's someone in 7 weeks ago, you know, you say you can later sign it. In 40 days, just look for the letter by now, and then you can start, doing something if you want to.
Yeah.
40 days, and I haven't seen the letter yet.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm understanding you correctly, we're still under a regional quarantine, so you wouldn't be able to, under normal circumstances, be able to bring in more birds until that regional quarantine is lifted. If I understood you correctly.
I mean, one day that guy went to my house, say, you know what, this time here, in 40 days, it'll be over, and you can be in another day now. Say that you can start doing it.
I'm not sure in your case specifically why, if that letter hasn't come yet, it sounds like it hasn't. I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure why that is. I wish I did.
And that's when I called one of the ladies in the office, and she was like, I know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and now I'm not really able to answer your question very well, but you know, to a certain extent, I can't hammer out all the stuff in this presentation, and I wish I could. But you know, it's more just to try to at least give you someone to talk to that understands the disease and what it's doing, and maybe explain the science-based approach a little bit, even if it's not welcome news, and so I can understand your frustrations.
Now there's a particular one of my neighbors, and you guys went over to his property. Yeah, what you can do, you guys need to be
Yeah. If that's the case, you know, they can call and we will come back to get the rest of them. Mind if we move on? Is that okay? Okay. Is there anybody else with questions? I can go back.
The last case was right here in Bloomington?
Yes.
Yeah. How long ago?
Well, I can only go by the last confirmed date, which on there was December 9th.
December
But
9th.
it's actively spreading in Bloomington.
10 days ago, right?
In that case, 10 days. Today the 19th already?
90, yeah, 11 days, okay.
Yeah.
Those birds were supposed to have been imported in weeks ago.
I can't comment on specifics. I don't know.
But, and then this last one was in a backyard.
Well, I can't comment on specific where it was. I mean,
No, I'm
often
not
they are.
asking that, but I'm just saying, are you able to say backyard or?
Most of the locations generally are backyard. And that information is also posted on the website. Sometimes it can be difficult to decipher. Sometimes it may be difficult to find, like it is there. I can come back to it. You probably have 60,
No, yeah, more. Ready?
60 more?
Not quite. 28. Okay, so Joan would like to know on the freedom of disease testing, where can us, the public, get a copy of this to know how much longer we're with you for? When do we get rid of you folks? You know, people are very frustrated, and when you keep saying a freedom disease, you don't tell us we need 500 tests, we need 200, we need what? Where can I look, or can somebody get a factual data that says I need 500 tests and we're leaving? Perfect. Or
Yeah,
whatever your number.
It doesn't go by the number of tests, it goes by the number of days without detection of disease.
Okay, so how many
That is
days do we
available-
need to go,
it's
though?
Available on the OIE website.
Okay, because OIE World website, right?
Well, I mean, it's
I've done a comparison chart. I have it for you folks to look at. I've done a CDFA, USDA, and the OIE. I've done a flow chart for you because under public records, well, I'll give you a copy if you'd like. It's color.
I can see the data myself. I don't even.
I know, but here's the problem.
Yeah.
Your CDFA, USDA, and OIE do not match. Okay.
I can only comment on the USDA and the
Yeah,
USDA.
you guys are getting your numbers all screwed up or something.
CDFA links to the USDA.
But
The,
the-
the OIE is different though.
But but you guys don't match CDFA either. I've got.
Maybe
I mean,
not, but I can only comment on the USDA. And that
Okay.
is, we're required to report what we detect once it's confirmed.
yeah, CAF lab versus UC Davis. I mean, I get all that. So basically, going back to what Joan would like to know, there is no factual data that says in 30 days, if nothing, we leave. If 60 days, nothing, we leave, etc. That where
Some of that information is on the OIE website. That's, again,
we haven't found. Could you?
if you Google freedom from disease OIE, it'll be the first thing you find.
Okay, and it does say then on.
It has a long section on legalese.
Do you know offhand?
Plain language.
Okay, do you know offhand what that
The number
is?
of days is 90 days without.
90. Okay, so if we can go 90 days with no positives in no counties, you people will take off.
It's a
We're
little bit
rid of
more
you.
complex than that, but,
No?
But yes, it's not, the days number is 90,
Okay.
and but it depends on certain milestones that have to happen first before that clock starts ticking. Oh, I believe there's one back there. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
On the
check a
OIE
website and you think it might be 90 days,
Not
but
everything we're doing. No, I think it is 90 days because it's right on the website.
okay, but that sounds like there's flexibility in here, so it's we're not locked on
That
90.
days start.
Exactly. So when does it start?
It starts when we have no detectable disease spreading in the community.
It-
last 3 months. No?
Well, they just had-
September 4 all the way to December 4 was 3 months.
Yes.
30 days.
Yeah, and
And they
then
find a case in
No, we had
the
it.
19. On what day?
If you
The
remember
9.
the timeline, we had it in
After
November.
95 days, they find another case.
No, we had one in November.
Yeah,
It
remember?
was on the timeline. Yeah. I can go back.
yeah, let's go back to November because I've been following this and I'm
Okay. Yeah, it was. Freedom from disease testing started October 22nd.
okay.
Our next detection after that was
You-
November 15th.
Okay, November 15th. Is that at Weiros' or where was that one?
I can't tell you where that was. No, you know I can't.
Oh, I know. I follow you guys all over. I know
Why are
where.
you asking the question?
Well, because I'm trying to get the facts put out because every time I call a POI, they tell me something different. Somebody gets a note left at their.
Oh, the PIO.
Yeah, I think. Are you Sandy Cooney? Oh, I was good. Okay. He's senile, so that's good. But I just thought I heard Sandy. I thought, oh God, I've spoke with you. But
It's Andy, not Sandy.
oh well, Sandy's.
Very close.
I know it sounds like it, and I'm old, but I'm getting senile too, right? But the numbers and what you folks are telling people, it doesn't match. I mean, literally, you guys just hit homes in Nuevo, leaving a intent to test. Okay, this
I'm
woman.
not sure. I can't comment
Well-
on a specific address.
Trying to read something and
Oh,
moving
yeah.
a little closer.
Yeah, you bet. You can come on up. So I mentioned that we were doing testing in other areas.
Yeah, I mean, but to me now, if Nuevo's been clean as it has been for months, it doesn't seem logical that you would go back to an area that has had nothing, no problems, no positives, no nothing, and now you guys want to go back and test because there is.
Absolutely a lot.
Well, not. I mean,
We're not going to find disease if we're not looking.
well, you guys carry it though. I mean, I've had three people that you guys tested and canvassed. Those birds got sick with something.
So which way did the arrow of time happen? Did we go there because we knew that
No.
very good data that the disease was there, or did we
In
It doesn't make
okay,
sense.
Norco, the home in Norco, I'm not going to the person's name. Your people were walking around handing out flyers, wanting people to call and test. Okay, he was busy, but he did call to get an appointment. But they made contact with their pamphlets at the door. Within 2 days, because he couldn't do the testing until he was off. Within 2 days, his birds dropped. Nuevo, same thing happened
The
to.
disease is spreading. It's very contagious.
Okay,
If-
but I mean, is it reasonable to say that when you this biosecurity, because Jay Contreras and Kill Law and the little short guy Michael Abbott, Kill Law is the one that was an attorney and a cop. Well, anyway, they came to my house and I was told that when one of your workers is in a positive kill, they are pulled out of the field for 72 hours. They must disinfect the vehicle, their clothing, shower, and they'll do clerical work for 72 hours. Now, Lily Lau, USDA mentioned that on a recorded line. And then those 3 gentlemen that were at my house, they also mentioned the same thing. But yet I see a kill and then I see a worker the next day. I've got footage of filthy cars. I've got you guys at 2350 hosing them and the water's puddling up. So, you know, that is, if we're going to talk biosecurity, that's a problem.
It's more complicated than that. I mean,
and that's why I'm
we feel like
asking
we
you.
see everything when we're out there, but you don't. You don't.
Oh.
You don't understand all the protocols that we have.
No, I understand it completely. I mean,
But you're asking questions that
because I'm
don't
trying to
jive
seek.
with reality.
Okay. So how about
Your
this?
observations are accurate.
No,
but you have
they're-
a complex set of
Well, they're on video, so I can send you these videos I mentioned.
I don't need to see it. I mean, some of it happens when it's not at your location or at any location.
Oh, but I have lots of locations. I mean, I go everywhere for anybody because to kill healthy pets to save.
Specific question.
Well, yeah, we were going back on wanting to know on freedom of disease. You mentioned 90 days. Okay, so we're going to roll with that. And like I said, I hope in 90 days you guys pack up and like we never see you again.
It's not 90 days. I agree.
Or all
It's
of
not
you.
90 days from today, of course.
Okay.
Again, it depends on the benchmark of when the disease is done, for example, in Bloomington, and then at what point can we start that?
What's your radius though? Are we doing, because Weiros was from these kills that we're looking at 2.3 miles from.
I can't tell you what our
Well,
radius
what-
is, but it's scientifically based. We have.
So 1
data.
kilometer doesn't go anymore. That used to be
I
1
think
kilometer.
It's actually, most of that is on the USDA website. If you really search deep.
Well, that's what I want to know. But if Weiros was 2.3 from Santa Ana, my buddies, that was 2.3 miles. So that's not
We don't
within.
work in miles. We work in
Yeah, kilometers, 1 kilometer, and that's a 0.6 of a mile. I mapped it out for you.
I don't know what you're trying to ask.
Well, if a positive was at Weiros, you got to get everything within 1 kilometer needs to go. Why are you 2.3 miles away on Santa Ana?
I'm not going to comment on specific
Okay.
locations, but the questions you're asking me are jiving with the data that I know because I look at it very frequently.
I do too. I mean, I spend so much time on this
I
too,
understand, that's why-
and I mean, I have so much footage that it's incredible. Next thing, has any more money been allocated to? You mentioned you're doing undercover stings, and you're doing some other things. The last publications of money, we had the $45 million from USDA. Governor Newsom put in another $3 million that was made public. Have we had more funds?
I don't know.
To this.
I don't know any of that information. I'm a person who manages disease, and that's exactly what I'm doing my best to do out here. I don't know anything about the monetary aspect that's budgeted from the higher levels of cdfa.
Oh, I mean, I've tried to follow it and look, and when I make it public.
The one on the USDA I had read there was $45 million.
Yeah, I have that too. And then 3 Point with Newsom. Jim has a question. He's a resident of Riverside area. He is upset about Riverside, and he wants to know when it will be cleared because he said he's been waiting 1.5 years, and he is not a happy person. He's very angry.
Freedom of disease testing.
That's Jim wants to know.
That's cleared.
Okay, so-
when we're done, when there's no active disease that we can find.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jim wants to know, Jim asking here, since you haven't had a positive in Riverside County since September 11th, that is way more than 90 days.
Yeah, but we're talking about disease detection for the entire area.
So if Bloomington gets hit, LA, San Diego, everybody else is getting hit too.
The entire area.
Okay. So,
Well, the entire area that we had outlined in this map.
Okay, I can't see that.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, it's terribly small. I don't know if this is probably worse because there's two of them. You know, the border, the purple line here, is the borders of our regional quarantine area. It's a very, it is a very large area, you're right. Yeah.
then my question
If-
is, why don't we have a right to see larger tests coming back? And second of all, just so virulent in chickens, why are waterfowl and peacock people getting nailed?
In some ways, they can still be infected, and whereas chickens might die very quickly and produce a lot of the virus, they can get infected and not necessarily get clinically ill or sick, but can still shed the virus.
So why are we not even giving, like, we already have an execution date, like, why are we having a right to see when our tests come? Because, I mean, these birds haven't gone anywhere. I mean, I've lived out there since '99, I have never transported birds or anything, so why don't I have a right to wait until the testing comes back, make sure, you know, because if my birds are sick, I will be the first to tell you to come in and take them. I mean, say he works in a lab, he knows some of this, he's a technologist, he knows what you're talking about. No, he's for humans.
Oh, yeah,
But the thing is, it's like they're healthy birds. I mean, we have followed, they're locked in cages, they're not even loose on the property. Why don't we have a right to wait till our test comes back?
Because our approach is scientifically based. Hands-on. I understand. I'm saying the same thing to you, and I
know, that's like
understand
going
your
up into an
frustration.
emergency room and you're gonna, this person has the flu, so you're gonna kill all of us because scientifically, that's scientifically based that because she's got the flu, the rest of us may get it, so you're just gonna gas the rest of us to keep it from leaving this room?
Well, I wouldn't use the human analogy, but the approach we're using is for the greater good. All birds overall to get ahead of and stop the virus, which is our goal. Eradication.
Like it's contained in my yard, stop. I'm not ready to eat it. So I just can't comprehend how you can just come in and take a healthy bird and just kill it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand the frustration. Definitely can.
I mean, I know everybody says that, but you know what? Tomorrow's gonna be a really good day. I mean, I don't.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you go on Craigslist, there's a lot of people selling cheap.
Going where?
On Craigslist.
Oh, Craigslist.
I mean, what do you have to do with the start with it?
Well, we're trying a multi-level approach to do multiple different ways of selling birds. I can promise you, we are trying.
And then
Promise you, we're doing everything.
Get stuff and you're gonna go there and get it, you know.
Yeah.
Or you start with people who are stuff out.
We are, we may never get to 100%, but we are trying. I can promise you that we are trying to address things like that, which are illegal. I mean, it's illegal under the quarantine area, Craigslist or anywhere else. However, it's still moving. So I understand what you're saying. We are trying to address that.
We're not supposed to be even doing moving cocktails and
Any birds right now.
That's the thing, is like we've never moved or I'll be in quarantine for 10 years. I don't have a problem with it. It's not what we do. Like, it's
But
so-
then if your
No, I
birds
can't
were,
stay on-
if they had the virus and they didn't get ill from it for whatever reason, they can still be shedding the virus, which is contrary to our.
Yeah, but isn't it carried in crows too? Are you gonna
No,
stop
but
crows? Isn't it migratory birds? How are you gonna stop? You can't make the world perfect.
Our data shows, yeah, you're right. I mean, so we try to control the things we can control. Wild birds, from our data, are not shown to be vectors of this disease at this time.
Backing off of what this gal had to say with these wild birds, I was told by Director Kent Fowler and Sinal Cooney that wild birds carry this and rodents. So if wild birds fly over my home and drop, poop or eat off of my feed, or a rodent comes in because I back up to all fields, they're carriers. Are you saying now that they are not carriers?
I'm not saying they can't be carriers. I'm saying the pattern of transmission of this disease does not show that it's being spread by wild animals.
Okay, so and so backing off on that with the wild animals. Now, Dr. Cantor said that this was in the podcast on, I believe it was in September he did. He stated that this disease came from wild parrots from Belize. That is not true.
Well, I'd have to look to see what he said.
Okay.
I know.
Maybe you could get back with me on that, because Dr. Frederick Cantor said it on a podcast. It was wild parrots from Belize, is what he said. Okay. And then
That's not my understanding. so I'd have to check with him.
Okay, because now with media, you guys mentioned on media, and I mean, you mentioned you saw her yesterday at your 2350 Mulberry. I mean, she was a very pleasant lady. I thought she was very pleasant.
I guess.
Oh, she was not nice? Bad?
Not what I said.
Okay. She was a very nice lady, but nonetheless, she mentioned that this has to do with the cockfighters. So can you tell me, is it the wild birds? Is it the cockfighters? Is it the Belize parrots? Because I'm getting mixed stories.
That's not, but I haven't given you mixed stories.
No, you haven't yet, but I'm trying to figure out because I've personally been told 3 different things.
Whether it's people with the most benign backyard operation, whether it's people who are fighting birds, whether it's people who have any spectrum of activity with chickens, they're all affected, and we're addressing them sometimes in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, because like this gentleman mentioned about the Craigslist. I looked on Craigslist the other day, and I just punched in chicken to see what happened. I had 300 hits come up, and I'm seeing all this stuff for sale. So these stings that you're doing, where are we doing those? Because I mean, they're not going on Craigslist. Because
mostly I don't know anything about specifics, but I know that we are trying.
Okay, well maybe you need to.
I meet with these people daily, and I can assure you we are trying.
Okay, another thing with this.
We can't be 100%. We can't be perfect.
No. I mean, this has been a catastrophe, but it's contributing factor, so it's not fair to blame. Because if you want to blame the game,
not blaming you.
no. The game guys. I mean, it's like saying, well, you have a pit bull, you fight the dogs. That's not true. I can have a pit bull and love the dog just because I love it. Doesn't mean I fight him. So, I mean, the blame has been pushed in so many directions. It's like we're all chasing our tail and there's no direction. And as this woman here mentioned, and I'm going to say, I feel for her, and I know you know who I am. I know you know who I am. Ask Eric. Eric knows. Steve Lyle back here. I see him hiding back here. I asked him to apologize to my son. Because Dolores, this was my bird. Dolores, I'll send you the videos. You guys came on Good Friday and you guys terrorized my family. Okay, I'm going to try to not use profanity, but you effed up my entire family, and it's bad. Okay, I've got doctors. I mean, it is beyond. This woman, what she's going to go through tomorrow, and ma'am, I'll stand by you. I can't stop these people, but I swear I'll stand by you and hand you tissues because I know what you're going to go through. You people have done nothing. You've offered no moral support, mental support, nothing. Do you know what it is like to have a bird that is a pet that had a name with a leash?
I've lost pets before.
Somebody came to your house and shot a gun and snapped its freaking neck and threw it in a trash can? Good God, whoever's doing that, my God, that's where the criminals are here. Okay, that's where they are. Not her, and not me, and not the game guys, and your shitty biosecurity. I'm sorry, it is you people spreading this crap. It is, sir.
The disease is spreading. It's virulent.
I get it. Then you know what?
I'll vouch that when they come to our street, you guys are immaculate at how you guys handle it, okay? Maybe different situations, okay? But I've watched these guys take their foot, things. I watched them spray. I watched them change. I watched them put their stuff into separate bags. I made each one of my children watch. And I even commented, and I thanked your guys for being very diligent. They put a mat down on the ground, they walked on that mat, they changed, they went to the next house, okay? So maybe it's different situations, different places, that things are differently handled, okay?
Did you get video of this?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But I have gone through this 5 times at my house, where my animals.
I've been raided 4 times, and I don't even have birds any longer, but I get citations, and I've watched them go from spot to spot. So, yeah, I am. Go ahead. I want to see video. That's all.
Always the same thing, okay? Maybe there's a new hiree, they went off from it, okay? Yes, these are our family. Yes, these are our pets. Yes, I'm probably making enemies here. But unless you've had family that has gotten this disease and seen the trauma that they go through, okay? And yes, my daughter won't even touch a chicken because of what you're saying, the trauma that it does to children. And now she's an adult, okay? I've been on all of that.
Really?
I lived
Did
a
your
chicken
daughter?
ranch.
Did your
Yeah.
daughter watch somebody snap the neck of their
Yes.
pet? Oh, they snapped the necks
She
and shot them.
She saw them grab them out, we all did, and put them into the white vats where they put the gas in it, okay?
Oh, you didn't get the brute trash can with the duct tape like I got.
So, yes, they do that.
Oh, you got that too. Okay, perfect. So now we can kind of relate. Okay,
So-
great.
But that's why I'm asking, if they're going to, you guys are going to do this, just make sure that there's no children around for sure, because this goes on and on and on.
I will pass on.
It really, you know, post-traumatic, it affects people in all kinds of forms. Animals, people, situations, lives, things, yes. And, you know, we get stuck with our horses, you know, and when they die, and it just affects people on different standards. And yes, this is very emotional when it happened down in Norfolk, and there's something down there when that kid's going on. Okay?
But that is natural causes of death. I can live with that. I can. It's hard, but I can live with natural causes
But
of
if we don't
death.
stop it here, and if it starts hitting back east, then what are people gonna do?
Did you get a copy of the test to know what disease and what strain we're actually
Yes.
dealing with? Oh, you do. Do you have a copy of that? Oh, okay. So this gal has a copy of something from you folks with with what strain and what disease is actually questioned. Because I haven't gotten that
I
yet.
don't know what strain you mean in this. You know,
Well, there's
not
different.
more than one strain.
Oh, there's there's eight strains of new.
Avian paramyxovirus 1.
Okay, is that the strain that we're actually seeking?
I don't know what you mean by we don't use that language strain for
Well,
the outbreak, and so I don't know.
Because I've never seen one written conclusive test result. My warrant has Newcastle and then it says avian influenza, so I'm not certain if we're going after Newcastle or influenza.
It is Newcastle. So
Okay.
I didn't say anything.
I would just like to see a full report. As you know, there's been a court case filed to get this data. I still don't have it.
I don't know that. But,
Well, it has been. So that's.
There may be a time in the future where those results become available to everybody. I can't comment on that. I don't know that. It sounds like maybe a legal argument, and I'm a veterinarian, so I can't comment on that.
Okay. Well, then, if you're attending veterinarian, because that was another thing at most of these kills, very rare, they usually refuse ID. We're supposed to have a licensed tending veterinarian at these kills, correct?
I can't comment on either way on our protocol, the type of people, what kind of degrees they hold. And I won't comment on that.
Okay. You know what? Before I go, if you want to give me your email, I'll send you all the videos and you can take a look because it's conflicting information and things aren't adding up. So.
I just wanted to,
No, that's fine.
We're at like a 8 o'clock cutoff, and it's 15 minutes to. I just want to let you guys know we're tight on time. So I want to try to make sure. Was there somebody else back here? Oh yes.
Is there going to be any extra focus on enforcement of beavers?
Well, I don't know about extra focus. We're focusing on it now. We're doing the best we can to get ahead of it on the illegal movement. Yeah, I mean any movement right now is illegal. I want to stress that any movement is legal, and the genetic data we have from this virus, when we do have it fully laid out, and there's people. In our case, our reference lab is in Ames, Iowa, for the USDA. Every sample that comes back positive, goes back to Ames, Iowa, from UC Davis. And they do virus isolation, and they culture the virus itself, and they find it in every single case that we detect a positive at. And so I kind of got off track from what I was saying, but we are taking steps to try to stay ahead of it on the criminal activity level. Yeah.
What happens if I hire somebody, replace my returner? My own returner.
I understand what you're saying.
If you get a certificate and you guys show it to my house and which way, I get my birds and stuff safe, the birds.
I understand what you're saying. We can't
Or
accept that right now.
you guys do your own test?
Maybe in the future,
Why?
because it's not acceptable. Because even if it's the same test with the same lab, we have to have certain levels of quarantine control where we test them. I know it's hard to understand, but the disease is spreading, and if you test it at one point in time, you don't know if they're.
We do every 2 weeks, simple, every month. Test your birds, and I pay for my own certificate.
Yeah, we can't allow that now. I'm sorry.
Shouldn't these folks be allowed to support a vet care if they have a veterinarian that would like to?
Sure, you're welcome to go see a veterinarian.
No.
All over the place.
But I mean, if they have their personal veterinarian verify, look at the birds, check the birds, prove the birds, couldn't that person challenge you folks?
No.
Okay. Have you guys gotten a warrant yet for San Bernardino County?
I can't comment on warrants. I'm not
Because
police
like
officer.
she says, remember start saying that, you know, probably you guys dropped the virus, the virus, and you know,
I'm sorry, what was that?
like.
The biosecurity.
You guys bring the virus to the houses when you show up. That's why we're scary. You
I
come
can-
and kill my
I can-
birds. That's why.
I know there's
Like
concerns
somebody
about
who
that,
test
but
our birds.
we have a multi-layered biosecurity approach.
I mean, it's nothing wrong, you know. We just wanna be sure that everything is
I
right.
understand. Yeah, and
If
I know
my
you
own
want to test
veterinarian
your
told me,
birds.
hey, you're very sick, we're going to call you right away. I have it from my house, come in and take care.
By the time all that happens, the disease may have already spread to other locations. That's why it's a matter of rapid identification and addressing the disease. So I understand what you're saying.
So I guess just in short then, because I'll have to get your email and maybe just have these folks email you.
I mean, it's not
It-
going to be much use to get my email. I mean, you have information from like the public information.
Okay, yeah, it's just that you can understand and you can see we have frustration. We're very frustrated.
Yeah, I understand.
People aren't getting answers. We feel like we're just being railroaded. We're being terrorized in our homes over a chicken disease that nobody will prove that isn't even harmful to humans. But okay.
But it's not,
So-
doesn't mean it's not important.
But here's what I'm understanding though. The way I'm understanding is a person does not get a say on a test or a kill. If you guys say we're testing or we're killing, that is just the way it goes. There is no negotiating here, and it doesn't matter if you have veterinaries, if you do medications, if you do vitamins, none of that matters.
No vitamins, nothing that will.
Okay, so when you guys show up at anybody's door and you say we need to kill the birds, that's that. If you say we need to test the birds, that's that.
Our approach is the most scientific approach to eradicating disease as quick as possible.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't
just
know
so I'll let you know, and I'm going to speak for a lot of people because a lot of people are fearful to come here, and I don't advise it either. But what I will tell you is it is going to be very difficult.
Am I scary? I'm not scary.
No, well, I mean, I watch my videos. I get like 10 cops on me, and I'm unarmed. I mean, I'm sure you know who I am. I mean, King probably phoned you, or Lucio, probably one of them. Well, anyway, it's okay. I'm down. I'm totally down with it. They come to my house all the time. I mean, I get tickets. I get raids. I don't have birds. You slaughtered everything.
Well, they haven't come.
No, I've had 4 visits already, and you're due back any day.
Oh, we're due back.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know where you live.
It's Christmas. I mean, I'm seeing a trend every
Don't tell
home.
me your address. We're getting to say
Everybody
your address.
knows it. Silver Summit. Go for it. And if the house is for sale, if you want it, it's ready to go too. But it's just so basically, we do not have rights as our pet owners. If you say they're sick and you need to kill them, or they're in your area, the birds are going. The end.
We have the quarantine authority, and we
But I think you can understand where you're not going to get.
scientifically address the diseases in the best way possible.
Okay. So.
We have the data. We are refining our techniques. Our epidemiologists are the one in charge, is the way it should be for any type of disease outbreak. They're the ones running the show and monitoring the data, looking at genetics. and
How come they
deciding-
don't? I mean, where's Annette Jones? I mean, I know she's got her.
Jones is an epidemiologist that I know.
Well, she's ordering the euthanasia, and I mean, she's got an egg farm and she's delivering eggs. So why isn't she coming down here and looking people in the eye and looking this woman in the eye and explaining this to her? I mean, I know what this woman's going to happen to her tomorrow. You guys are going to. I can. I mean, and it's not fair to her.
Is there a
Or
question?
what?
I can't answer that question.
I'd like Dr. Jones to get her butt in front of the public and explain what the hell's happening, because this is not fair.
Would it be easier to get ahead of the disease if we just get rid of all the chickens in the quarantine area?
Well, but that's, I mean, I suppose it would be, I mean, that would be an even worse approach from some standpoint, because that would be, I mean, the chickens are the ones that are primarily magnifying and causing the spread. That's just not a realistic approach. To kill every single chicken is impossible, that I know of. I don't think that was an approach.
What they did last time, that's almost what they did last time, is they created, and that's what I thought we were.
We're doing
at
it
that point, aren't we?
by region. I mean, by region, we're regionalizing it, we're identifying and containing.
But the thing is we've had so many people that are bucking the system and moving their birds all over.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do.
So the only thing that I've noticed from the previous times to this time is when they came from door to door to door. Last time, when we were in quarantine areas, and it was noted that you had birds, we were required to put a notice on the front of our property. So that people with a visual, that they see this, it's like a continual reminder, don't move your bird, don't move your birds, don't move your birds. This year, or this past time, nobody's gotten that. So wouldn't that be advisable to do so that as people are driving by, oh, I've got birds and we're in quarantine, I better not move it? It's a lot of people nowadays, if it's not seen red in front of them, they think, oh, time's up, it's over. I mean, and I have to admit, it's been so busy with the holidays that I hadn't even checked your website to see if there were any. Mike's auction has been repeatedly saying, okay, the first of the year, everything, nobody's been reported, nothing, and we should be clear and we'll be able to have birds again. Nothing was mentioned at this last auction. So everybody there now is assuming. But the thing is Mike needs to be aware that if this is continually going on, the equipment that they get, and there have been chicken equipment that's gone through that auction, and they're Riverside County, and that and on her side, she has said, don't move birds, don't move equipment. She reminds, but then we're having this over here. So yes, it can be transferred if you don't clean your equipment that you purchased. But those signs, you know, a lot of people are visualizers. They,
Well, we'll try to think about that approach. We try a lot of the things nowadays are so electronic and so on with different forms of communication, and some people
not everybody
haven't
can
been happy
see.
with it. What's that?
Not everybody can see.
Yeah.
Not everybody has a smartphone.
No,
And
you're right.
not
I understand.
everybody has a computer.
And sometimes that's an assumption we make to try to get to the most people possible, you know, with the easiest means
And
possible.
we have cities that have billboards. We have one here in Bloomington. I mean, I made sure that with my MAC meetings that we have those available. Would it not be advisable for each city to have where people drive through, you know, quarantine, you know, Newcastle quarantine area? You know, squeaky wheels are what's going to help in future, because this is going to happen again and again and again. Well, I know, you guys know, you know, everybody here knows.
Unfortunately,
It's just
quite possible.
a thing that's just going to happen. But that would be something, because this, people are transporting, and that's what's going on. And so, her with her fans, me, all these other people that are here, the lady behind us, people just think, oh, we're fine, we're all done, we will move our birds. I mean, there's sites on Facebook that does repair it. I read one the other day. This lady was ecstatic. She lives in Pomona. She just got 2 cockatiels. Where in the world is she getting cockatiels if you're not supposed to be drinking? So, you know, and I've got friends. I've got friends who have pet stores that have birds.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you got any birds that you want to sell me? And I'm like, are you joking? No. So we need the visual reminders, guys.
I understand what you're saying.
I have a
Yes,
quick
ma'am.
question. Okay, so say that I'm Zaki Farm. So are you gonna come into Zaki Farm and destroy their $50,000 bird or this big money top?
I don't know exactly how it is.
The largest poultry producer in the
See, I'm not from
United
this area,
States.
so I apologize.
Yeah.
I know there's a large commercial aspect,
So
including
is
in
this the main
these
reason,
counties.
like because of the commercial industry, so the backyard people are gonna be the one that are gonna get in trouble, like I mean, literally, if I was a commercial producer in the same situation I'm in now, and I have 50,000 birds in my backyard, are you coming in and killing all those birds, or is there
commercial operations have been affected and have been
or am I gonna get
addressed
like
in
a
the same way.
scam because I put so much money into the state?
Well, I can tell you we're following the disease. The disease has affected commercial operations. I don't know I don't recognize that name. I don't know if they were
Foster
affected or
Farms,
not.
any of those, or
But some relatively large-scale commercial operations have been affected and have lost their entire stock. That has happened. You know, again, in our 3 counties. But it has happened, and they were affected, and I'm sure it was devastating from a business standpoint. Whether or not they were super wealthy or something else, I'm not sure as to which businesses they were. Okay, we're at about just a couple more minutes. Is there anybody else? I'll come back to you if you have one more.
I have a whole bunch. So I'm just going to get an email and names. I'll have to have people email. I got little ones I got to get home to anyway. So there's a lot of questions, and people are not getting the answers they need.
Shoot one more parting question.
Well, Jesus, just go to Save Our Birds and you can read. There's a lot. I mean, people are wanting to know why are you wasting everybody's time and killing random homes in Bloomington? If you're going to wipe it out, just wipe it out and be done.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I never said random. Did I?
No, you didn't say random, but us, the people, the citizens. I mean, literally, I've had one home, nothing, and you killed right here. But next door, I mean, it is so random how they've hopped and literally skipped people. But yet you got killed, you didn't.
I can only say it's not always next door.
Well, let me ask you this. What would make me really happy and make my Christmas? Can you work with her? Can you work with this lady and lock her birds down? I don't care. Lock them in her freaking bedroom if you have to. Please.
I can't make any promises.
Could you try? Will you try? Will you try for me? Will you try?
If there were a different way to do it,
Can we try though?
Today, I know that.
I've got till morning. They actually just gave us today because they were here this morning, and I'm like, I get a call at work. They're just going to come in. I mean, when they come home to a bunch of dead birds, it's like I think my birds. I have the right to at least know what's going on. I mean, my flock, everything. We already looked it up. The flock is less than 20. We have waterfowl. We're in the tiniest little group of anybody that can get this. I don't even go to that feed store. I've never been to that feed store. I have a half acre. I don't have, how am I going to get infected if I'm not bringing other people's birds or feed from the contaminated feed store to my house? How are they going to get in my yard if you're saying it's not carried by a wild bird?
I can only state
they're
that there
covered.
have
They're in
been
cages.
other locations with similar circumstances to yours that have gotten infected. It has happened with a similar situation. Their birds appear to be healthy, and the disease spread to their birds, and then we had disease, and it's devastating for them, and then creates a situation to spread to other people. Where they're just as connected to their pets as you, and then they have to go through it too. I can't make any promises as to what our current approach. Our current approach is a science-based application that is sometimes has terrible ramifications. Terrible. I have to cut it off there, I think. I wish they were longer because I can tell that you guys have lots of questions, frustrations. So please just try to work with us. We'll try to do our best for eradication, as I mentioned, which is not our thing now. We'll achieve freedom from disease, freedom of disease or from disease. That's both ways. But no what? There should be no birds until that quarantine, the regional quarantine, is lifted. No new birds on the property. No movement of birds, which would you have to move birds to bring it to your property.
How come when there's like a bird in LA County, why that?
Because we have to consider the area as a full zone, because I know it's frustrating. It's the best approach. I know it doesn't make sense. I know it's a large area, but scientifically it does make sense. I know it's hard to fathom. I know it's hard. Because I have a hard time too. No, I can't answer.
No, these are 2 quick ones for.
Let's let him go
Okay,
first.
go ahead.
Now, Bloomington, it's mandatory to kill the birds or no? Right now.
It depends on where there's active disease spread, and we have different layers of what we do in different
Make it
areas.
a test first. Or if you find a close disease area,
It
you might do.
depends on where you live and how close you are to a proven infected location.
But if you find a virus in my next door neighbor, do you feel my have it?
If we find a virus in your next door neighbor, your birds
You don't want to make it a test?
are already exposed.
Anyway, you don't going to make it a test.
We might test, but we have different things we do at different locations, depending on how close you are.
Thank you.
So my neighbor's property, you got, well, stuff like there, for those birds, are mine land. Because when you guys don't got mine and stuff, I would say I call the dog, it's a little
Oh, but he's getting back, way back when? You seem like you're taking high levels of precaution with the bird con and other things too, and so we have to follow our protocol. Because you don't have birds now, right? You've never heard. We're trying our best to go as quick as possible.
No, I know, but this is two quick ones. Somebody's in the process of going to move and they have a pet parakeet. What can they do?
Call the PIO line to ask
For a pet parakeet,
I
okay.
can't comment on every single instance, and
Okay.
so it wouldn't be fair. I want to make sure you get the most accurate.
So okay. Next thing is, somebody had hatchings. A few are roosters. They don't want them. Nothing is sick. They're afraid to call you. What can they do?
They should, in this case, they should keep the birds on site.
So but if they don't want because the roosters.
They don't want them, but at least they can call for input from the PIO line. But they should not move.
Can he kill him if he wants? I mean, it's his property. Can he eat
It's
him?
his birds.
Yeah, he can eat
Do
them.
whatever he
Right?
wants.
Okay, that was what I thought. Just don't let it leave the property. If you call it and eat it, go for it. It's meat for some
Well,
people.
if they want to eat it, that's
Okay, yeah, 'cause I don't-
It's not a food health safety.
Okay,
concern.
he just had too many hatchings, and when I guess he got these a while back, and it's just doesn't want this.
And with the little I know, with what you're conveying to me,
Okay.
he can eat them.
Okay, so perfect. He can call them himself. I know on the website it mentions triple bagging and throwing away. So I guess
Well,
if you don't eat it, I don't eat chicken. So
yeah, okay. Yeah, from what you're describing to me.
okay, so if somebody is over their count, nothing goes in and
I
out.
don't know
So
where he is. So you don't have to tell me.
okay,
You may
no,
not.
I can't tell you that. Okay,
I mean, we would allow people to eat. If it's still not leaving the property, right?
well, not in the manner that you would. It'll leave, but not in that manner.
The way that would be
Okay, so you can call your own birds, and if you want to eat them all for dinner, knock yourself out and do what you got to
I
do.
believe that's acceptable, and I believe we've allowed that in the past.
Well, that's what I mentioned that I thought was a good idea because it was called animal control, but I don't know that they'll take them.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you all. I hope that I came close to making you feel a little better. I'm not sure if that's the case, but that was my intent. So I hope that I made you guys feel a little better.
Thank you.
Y lo siento y buenas noches.
Sir? Sir, your name was Andy, right? When you're with CDFA or US? CDFA, Andy. Okay, thank you. That's Andy, CDFA. I'm going to shut this off real quick. I'm going to talk to this lady.
Stuff over here. Feel free to grab some flag.
I'm going to turn this off right now. I'll come back and answer questions.